Hello everyone, my name is Alex and I am part of the Miami-Dade Vacancy Compliance Portal version 2. I will be going through the installation guide for this project. So I listed as a step 0 to install Homebrew or Linux Brew. This is just to circumvent from when you have to download NPM and when you have to download Python and pip. You can just get it from Node Package Manager, or you can get all those really just from Homebrew, which is a package manager specifically for Mac or for Linux. So I have provided the exact command that needs to be ran. So I will actually go ahead and run this command. Mind you, I already have everything installed, but I'm going ahead and run the commands with you. So, yep, that's fine. Go ahead and put the password in. And this actually does save you a lot of time from having to go into separate websites. Might take a little while, but as soon as that's done, the next command we want to do is go ahead and install Python 3. With Mac, Python 2.7 comes native, so we want to go ahead and get Python 3 to run this project. Might take a while. While I'm doing this, let's see if I can go ahead and navigate to the URL to get our Bitbucket repo. So if we go ahead and navigate to Bitbucket, I don't know why it didn't redirect me there to begin with. Let's see, here's the repo. I think Homebrew is about to finish. And should be finishing up right about now. Yeah, let's see. Looks like it actually finished. So the next command we want to run is this one right here, which is brew install Python 3. When you run, see, I already have it. When you run commands without saying cask, um, cask is for programs like Docker that need visuals. So you would actually, if you want to install Docker, for instance, you would do brew install cask Docker. In this instance, since we just need Python 3 for its not executable, but for its actual, functionality of Python, we'll just go ahead and say brew install Python 3. So the next step we want to go through is installing npm. So what we're actually going to go through here is a brew install npm. Actually, we're going to install node, which should also bring npm with it. Yeah, see, so it says already installed. So the next thing we want to do is, assuming I have not actually gotten the project, let's cd up one more. Go ahead and clear this all. So assuming this is also the directory I wanted to clone this in, we can go ahead and copy this command from here, which is from the Bitbucket, and we can go ahead and do a git clone and paste. I do not want to recopy the repo, but you would go ahead and press enter for that one, and it should clone the repo for you. It should also leave you at the master branch. And it would create a separate folder for you called, let's see what I can get here, MPH the folder it would actually create for you, sorry, it's this guy right here. So let's clear, and it is, oh, looks like we're already inside of it. CD MPH, that guy. That's what's actually going to be cloned from our repo. The next command we want to do is to install virtual environments. So for Mac and Linux as well, you can do this command, which is pip3 install virtual env, which stands for environment. You can go ahead and run this command. I already have it, but it would install that. And the very next command you'd want to do is this one. Cool. So to activate this virtual environment on Mac, let me go ahead and clear this. You want to do a source of this folder, bin, and activate. That should activate your virtual environment. See, it says this in the front of your username, which means that you're also in the virtual environment. For our very next command, what we would want to do is let's install app dependencies. So while we are here, we would like to go ahead and run the pip3 install -r requirements.txt. See, I already have them installed and satisfied, but it would go ahead and install all those dependencies for you. Very next command we would want to do is to create our super user. So this command is not entirely necessary because I've actually created a backend request that should register users for you, but if we wanted to follow it this way, we can go ahead and say Python manage and what is it? Create super user. Sorry, I did create super use is actually what I just wrote. Cool. So we'll call this, I believe I already have a test, so we'll call this one test1. Email, we'll give it test1@fiu.edu. Password, we'll give it something simple. And go ahead and enter your password again. Cool, super user successfully created. Now, assuming this is, a new environment you're setting this up in, you would want to create your migrations and migrate. I do not have to do any of those, but we'll go ahead and give you the commands for them. So it would be Python manage, and from there you would want to do make migrations. I don't think no change detected. That it normally detects when you need to migrate when it sees a change in your user models and it creates a hash for it. So after you've created your migrations, assuming you have any, you'd go ahead and run this command, Python manage migrate. And it would apply all your migrations if you have any. So once that step is done, we actually want to go ahead and run our server. So it would be Python manage and run server. So this actually spins up the backend instance. We'll go ahead and create a new tab. We'll leave the backend running on one window. And next we want to do is to navigate to the imports folder, so cd imports. And from there we actually would like to execute the elite import command. So what we would do is Python elite import. I am not currently in my virtual environment. So we would go ahead and source, actually we can do it from here. So we'll source it. Then we'll go back into our imports folder, clear everything, and Python elite imports. This is going to open one of the Excel sheets, parse it row by row, and grab all the units and store it in our SQLite database. Yep. Normally it takes a couple, well, it was coded for a couple minutes, maybe larger depending on your data. Normally it takes a couple seconds. What the very next thing we would want to do is we no longer need this tab, but I'll stay in it anyway. We actually want to go up one folder and let's do a clear and ls. So there's this folder right here, which is the one we want to navigate to. So we go ahead and cd to mdc, and this here is where all of your front end belongs in. So the front end chosen for this project is Angular 7 with Material 2. All of that will be located inside of this folder. So first, the obvious first thing we want to do is an npm install -g, which is global for Angular CLI. You can't do anything without that guy. This is Angular's command line interface. It's what does all the compilation for you and basically runs everything for you. So it's a fairly quick install. Once you're ready here in this folder, MDC public housing, which I mentioned earlier, which is where it's the folder for all your front end. Let's go ahead and clear this again. You want to do an npm install. This installs all the dependencies located in your Angular JSON file. Should take a couple seconds most of the time. Yeah, so it says found 6 vulnerabilities. So what you want to do is run an npm audit fix. Most of the time it won't fix all of them. It'll fix the majority of them, and then it'll tell you why it couldn't fix the others. Obviously, if you did a little more digging, you can fix them. So while that's loading, I'll go ahead and take a look to see what our next command is. Cool, so it says fix 5 out of the 6 vulnerabilities, and I'm assuming that one is the one low risk one it found and not the high risk one. So we can go ahead and clear this again, and we should run our server. So you can do two things. You can do an ng build, and after that you would do an ng serve, or you can go ahead and run npm start, and it does a build for you, and it starts it for you. And every time it detects a new change when you save files, it will rebuild for you. So this is handy because normally the ng build and ng serve do not detect new changes for you. So you'd actually have to, whenever you change the files while you're, debugging things to see, you would actually have to stop your serve, rebuild, and reserve, as opposed to npm start, which does it for you. So now, while this is running and this is running, we can go ahead and access localhost at port 4200, which is where your front end is. Cool. So I believe I was previously logged in. Let's go to login. And I made a test one. So if you actually created with a backend request, you would have this populated, your first name. Well, from here, what we would like to do is do a pick unit upload. We already have our elite units, and we want all of our pick units to see if it actually worked. So for this, we're going to choose pick unit reports. So we'll go ahead and choose file. We'll go ahead and navigate to, right here, projects, school, code, import scripts. There's going to be pick units report, that guy right there. Going to go ahead and get them ready to upload. It'll let you know that the file is being uploaded, and then it'll send you another message when it has successfully uploaded. There you go. Cool. So to know that this works, just go ahead and navigate to the home page, and if all the graphs load for you with no problems, then it worked. And would you look at that? So once you're on here, this is all of our elite data. You can cross out the occupied, cross out vacant, or cross out miscellaneous. You can hover over, it tells you the percentages. And the same goes for our pick units, which is the one we just finished uploading. Once we're there, we can view the discrepancies and go to last, previous, click OK there, and it shows you all the discrepancies and the total. So there you have it. That's how you get the Miami-Dade Vacancy Compliance Portal version 2 This is a fairly simple installation. Mind you, if you find any bugs that haven't been accounted for, there's always, you know, online Stack Overflow. They have answers for everything, but as far as this goes, this is a pretty simple installation for this project. And thank you.